Hello Canadian teen book lovers, and welcome to week 11 of my marathon of books. Yay! Today I have a different camera woman. Megan Howe is stepping in for Camellia Crazy because Camellia is in Paris. Lucky her. So if things are a little off, that's why. But it's okay. So this week I had some excellent books. The first one I want to talk about, I don't actually have a copy because I read it as an ebook, and it's called Break On Through by Jill Murray. And it was technically set in Toronto, so I probably should have waited to read it, but she is based out of Quebec, so that's why I kept her there. It was this great book about breakdancing, and I've never done breakdancing, obviously. That wouldn't really work out for me. But it was just, I loved getting into the character, and I really felt like I could almost breakdance by reading Murray's book. It was just incredible. And then the main character had a great spirit, and I loved her growth over the course of the book. It was well worth the read just to get into that different world and to find out what breakdancing is all about. Next up, Close to the Heel by Nora McClintock. This is the first book I've read in 7 the series by Orca Books. I loved it. Wow! It was just, the premise of the whole series is that a grandfather dies and leaves a special task for each of his 7 grandsons to complete. And that is the premise of the 7 different books. Each book is about a different one of the grandsons. So this one is about Rennie, and he's kind of considered the lost grandson because his mother, so his grandmother was his grandfather's sort of love interest, and they were never married. And he didn't even know that this woman was pregnant and then ended up having his daughter, and then Rennie was born later. So the family doesn't really know him, but after his grandfather dies, he's sent to Iceland to kind of clear up some unfinished business for his grandfather, and he ends up discovering this whole big mystery, and it's all about how he unravels the clues and figures out what's really going on. It's well-paced. It moves quickly. It's just great. After that, I have First Day on Earth by Cecil Castellucci. I hope I'm saying that right. I love this book. I've read it before. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's about this kid named Mal, who's a teenager, and he believes that he has been abducted by aliens. And he joins a support group for survivors, and ends up making a friend there named, I want to say Hooper, but who turns out to be an alien himself. And it's all about how he's trying to help his friend get back to his spaceship, and how he wants to go with his friend into space to get away from planet Earth. So I'm hoping, I love this book because when you get to the end of it, he realizes that he's not the only one on Earth who feels like an outsider, and he's able to make some friends. And you never really know if he was actually abducted or if it's just all in his head and he has a mental illness going on. You really have to decide for yourself. So it's a great puzzle book, as Castellucci says, and a fun read. Last up, I have If You Live Like Me by Lori Weber. And again, Lori Weber is from Quebec, but the book is actually about a girl who used to live in Montreal, but then her dad decided he was going to write a book about the dying cultures of Canada. So he moves them all over the country to study different things like mining and cod fishing and farming, and kind of insulting community after community with his opinions. and she's forced to follow him around. So this story starts when they hit Newfoundland, where he's focusing on cod fishing, and Cheryl is used to not making friends. She's used to being the outsider, but she ends up making a really great friend in her neighbor Jim, and that changes how she feels about her desperate want to get back to Montreal. And it's beautifully written. It makes you feel like you're actually in Newfoundland, and the people are incredible. So I would also recommend this book. Since we're on week 11, that means that I've read 77 books so far, and that's a total of 17,188 pages, which is 1,718 kilometers traveled, and 210 hours and 23 minutes of reading, which is crazy, but good. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming week. I'm still in Quebec, and I'll be there for at least a couple more weeks. I hope you have a good week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.